How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video where we have a clip from one of our viewers and they want to try and improve at Seiryu. So we do have a kill that is around about 12 minutes long here. I'm assuming that the entire clip or the entire kill is probably going to be about 10 minutes once they've done all the banking and stuff. So what we're going to do is watch this through in one go, try not to pause too much, and then at the end I'll sort of like a breakdown and a summary of things that I've seen and mentioned along the way to try and help this person improve. If you guys have any feedback and stuff, then of course leave it in the comments as well. But no toxicity stuff, because this person's trying to learn. They've messaged me to try and improve, to try and learn. So of course there's going to be some mistakes in here. There's going to be some things that they can definitely improve on, because that's the entire point. And if there wasn't anything to improve on, then I would not be able to help, because like I say, I am not the best PvMer in the world, but I will help where I can, and that's the idea. Anyway, if you enjoy, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I hope that you do learn something too if you're someone watching for learning as well. And let's just get started. We'll start off initially by just checking basically the bank setup and stuff, but they've just entered, so I'm assuming they're going to be banking in just a sec and sorting out their inventory and stuff. So we'll wait until they get just outside Seiryu, and then we'll take a look at the inventory then, because that way there's no like mistaking what exactly they're going in with. I think they got out a weapon poison. Don't actually need weapon poison for Seiryu. It doesn't do anything. He's immune to it. So that and your Cinderbane gloves as well won't actually do anything. But I mean, if you only have Cinderbane gloves, you don't have like Nightmare Gauntlets or something, then obviously you still wear the gloves. You don't just take them off. So if that makes sense, if that's all you've got. But you don't need to waste your weapon poison. Don't worry about that too much. Okay, so good, starting off with Death Swiftness and an Adrenaline Potion. And your Vuln Bomb, always good to see. Okay, so you are a clicker with your abilities, which is fine as long as you get them off. Okay, so first Dragon Breath, we have a Devotion. Perfect. Wait, no, wait, what? That splashed and then Devotion went off. That is so lucky. That's so lucky. But you had the right idea. Okay, this is really important and you should definitely do this. If you're a clicker, see this little lock pad here, this one right here, you want to click that. Click it, get it locked. Because what's happening here is you are clicking the ability. You can literally see that you are clicking it. You didn't misclick or anything, you are clicking it. But because you're in like a bit of a panic, it sort of drags the icon a little bit. And then rather than actually activating it, it just sort of doesn't do anything. So if you click that little padlock thing, that'll fix that for you. You do have quite a bit of adrenaline. So I want to see how you spend that, to be fair. You could use things like... I mean, you could drop another Death Swiftness, but you only got 100k damage left. I'd just say just chuck out Dart Bow. Talking of gear, you do have dual ascensions. You got an SGB in your inventory. I think that you could use the SGB as well, to be fair. And you have a Dart Bow in the Essence of Finality, I'm pretty sure, because you don't have an ECB. You've not used the ECB's bet yet, so I'm assuming that's a Dark Bow. Frig, that was close. That was really, really close. But that could have been, again, let me do a quick check. Was that due to the same thing? So let's just see, you got the Dragon Breath here, you put on your shield and you're spam clicking res, but it did the exact same thing. It didn't quite go off yet. Either you're playing with lag or it's the same thing as before. Okay, so you have signed, but that's unfortunate and it doesn't matter too much. So what I'm going to do for this is, because obviously you're still learning Seiryu and there's so many mechanics in this boss, we won't pay too much attention to exact like things where you've like missed a mechanic slightly or something, because it's going to happen. It just is, but you will pick that up over time. I will mention things that you can do to sort of like help avoid stuff once we get towards the end, but for now that doesn't matter. Okay, so I can see here what you want to do when you jump up here is as soon as you click the ledge, right click the first crystal. Because if you don't right click that crystal, watch what happens to your camera. It just jumps. Like, you're ready to click that, but look, it does. You even click as well. Like I used to do this. It's so annoying. Like you click and it's gone. And then you've wasted, like, it's not much, but you've wasted like it could have been like a snapshot or something, which is a good amount of damage. So if you right click that crystal, when the camera moves, you'll still have the option to actually attack. So that's always useful to do. You didn't have Death Swiftness when you came up here, but that's only because the Sign of Life. You were saving up your adrenaline, so it looks like you throwing out all your adrenaline. I think you'll still get this. It's going to be close though. You look like you're going to get it still, but it's going to be really close. You've used your Dominion Mines, which is great to see. You have used them a little bit late though, so you will now not be able to get them off for the second crystal, like just before you jump down, but that's okay. So this will be a 3 cycle. It definitely will. You're not going to get enough damage in here, I don't think, before the blobs pull you down. So you just used Anticipate here. So with this, what I would suggest you do is don't worry about doing any defensives or anything while you're up here. That anticipation just loses you damage. I know that you weren't going to get the 2 cycle anyway because of the ink stuff, but that's still like, just wait until you get dragged down and then just use freedom. You want to spend every single second you've got up here dealing damage to these crystals. If you're using defensives, then you're losing DPS on them. Good to see using Gricko to clear those off. That's always good. Using chins as well. You don't really need to use chins. I mean, it did help a little bit, but I would have just used corruption shot on those, and that probably would have killed them off for you. And then you could have gone straight back to Seiryu. Good to see Death Swiftness and a Vuln Bomb. Yeah. So it looks like you're in the habit of making sure your Vulns drop, which is great to see. So you do tend to have quite a lot of adrenaline all the time. So I would just be taking advantage of this dart bow you've got. Perfect res, very nice. Good to see. See, when Revolution doesn't screw you over and take your global cooldown, and when the little draggy like padlock thing doesn't screw it over as well, goes fine. Okay, so you're getting ready to go up. I assume you're going to build to 100%. Look, you are building back up again, so that's good. Now, what you want to do when you go up with 100% adrenaline, because we couldn't really say it last time, is right-click that crystal. As soon as it's there, you right-click, you surge in, and then you drop Death Swiftness. The reason you surge is so you can drop mines as well. So, like, if you'd surged in, you could have dropped your mines, dropped Death Swiftness, Vuln Bomb, all that sort of stuff. So you can Vuln these as well. I don't know if you've just forgotten on this, maybe. You absolutely could have done. I'm not sure if you Vuln the last side as well, but you can Vuln these, and it helps a lot. It'll say looking for stuff to do, so just drop the thresholds and then drop the dart bow. You've got rapid fire there. You want to definitely get that done. So I just want to check when you came up. I think you may have done something that I may have not have imagined it. Let's see. I think you used rapid fire first and then instantly cancelled with snapshot. Yeah, you did. So just be careful with the order. I'm sure you probably don't do this all the time. I'm assuming you probably just made a little bit of a mistake here, but don't freak out. Like, don't spam click. Just chill, take your time. You've got the global cooldown to think about what's going on. Just drop your snapshot, drop your rapid fire, let it play out. Don't panic too much. You've always got Revolution to pick you up if you do take one tick too long or something. It will always chuck out another ability. It's not the end of the world. But cancelling rapid fire for snapshot before it's even finished like halfway or anything, like you lose quite a bit of DPS there. So definitely just slow it down a little bit. Don't panic too much. Okay, so clearing off your things. So if you just use corruption shot here, they would have died much easier. You would have been able to just press it and make sure they're all pulled off of Seiryu with Gricko, like you did, and then it literally just leaves them to melt because they'll just bleed to death. Okay, good use of Limitless to make sure you get your thresholds in there. Oh, this is risky, dude. Run! There's so much going on in these fights. Like, if you're new to Seiryu, there's so much going on. It's crazy. But I promise you, once you get used to it, like, it's like you're falling asleep. It's crazy. It just changes so much. Like, it looks so hectic and so crazy when you first start. But eventually, you're just like, yeah, okay, it's fine. It's such a strange fight. Like, it's really fun, though. So, I mean, don't worry about it too much. Even if it takes 10 minutes, it's 10 minutes of a hell of a lot of fun. At least I think so. More SGB specs. It's good to see that you're using those pretty often. You're making use of that SGB. They do a lot of damage. They really do. One thing I have noticed is you haven't put your DPS prayer back on since your prayer dropped, which is, like, it makes sense, right? Like, a lot of people forget about that. I forget about it sometimes. But as soon as your prayer drops, you should instantly be thinking my DPS prayer as well. You are running low on food, but you're nearly done, so I'm assuming you're going to get it. Okay, so you go. You can do the exact same thing here as well. You can right-click that crystal, ready, and then as soon as you get up, it's going to do, yeah, see how it jumps away. It's so freaking annoying that it does that, though. The camera just shouldn't do that. You could have Death Swiftness. It may have made it a little bit, like, more chill for you if you had, but you're not going to struggle here at all anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, perfect. So you got yourself... How many scales did you get? That's the important thing. Oh, you have to show how many scales you got. 10 scales. Nice. That's like, what, 11 mil? That's like 11 mil at the moment, I think. Very nice. Right. Well, like I say, there is quite a few things, so I will go back through it now and sort of give you an overall talk specifically and more in depth about it, and hopefully we do find some value in this for you. This probably is going to be a long one, guys, because Seiryu is it's definitely an in-depth boss, and of course the actual fight itself was really long too. So as much as I probably will edit it as short as I can to make it like not ridiculously long, it's important to cover everything, otherwise we're just sort of leaving this person without like any advice and stuff, and that's just not good. Okay, let's start off with your action bar. So you were using snipe like it was a threshold, which is fine, so that's good. You're making sure you use it. That's really good. That doesn't matter where it is on the action bar if you're manually pressing it and manually using it. That's good. You've got needle shot, then Gricko, which is perfect, and then you've got bleed plus Sacrifice and Tusker's Wrath. Fragmentation Shot, which is this one here, that would be better before the Sacrifice, I'm pretty sure. It does more damage than that, and then you've got the other ones. They're fine. It doesn't matter too much. If you lock your action bar, it won't drag stuff when you try and click it, so you won't get any of that stupid stuff where like you're spamming res and you just I can guarantee you are getting stressed with this, thinking, why is my res not going off? Like, I'm clicking it, I've clicked off the boss, my global cooldowns aren't off, it's just not going off. It's because it's just dragging. That's all it is. I get it, like everything's going quick, you're spam clicking, and it's what happens, it drags. So you just need to make sure that you lock that. It'll make it a lot easier for you, and it will register those clicks as clicks and not drags. Like I say, weapon poison, you don't need them. So if you can bring something else that isn't Cinderbanes, then that's just going to be better overall. It just is. So if you do have something, make sure to bring that. One other thing I've noticed is adrenaline use. You do tend to have quite high adrenaline a lot. So if you can sort of get in the habit of trying to just dump that away, then perfect. Also, you do have a slight habit of using rapid fire, which you can see here, and then cancelling it. You see it has 3 seconds left, and you've used snapshot to cancel that. So that is a lot of lost damage, because those hits on rapid fire, you've got like another 3 hits coming out there, and you definitely don't want to cancel those. So what you should do is either just use snapshot first and then rapid fire. You have fleeting boots, so you can keep moving, so you don't need to cancel it like because you need to move or anything. You can just keep moving, but you are losing some damage with that. Now I wonder if you do the exact same thing here. So you get down to 3 seconds. No, so you had to move. I'm pretty certain you may have done that here had you not been forced to move. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to be cancelling that rapid fire, especially when you have fleeting boots. Like, there's no reason to, really. So DPS wise, it's just the fact that you're sitting quite high on your adrenaline, and you could definitely dump some of that out and you'd be able to get some more DPS out of that. Absolutely. But the rest will come with practice. Like, it's obvious to see that you are still practicing at this boss, and a lot's going down. Like, a frig ton is happening, and it's crazy. Like, you're going to be doing less DPS while you're learning mechanics. You just are. It's just the way it is. Speaking of the mechanics, this is how I would suggest you sort of deal with them. Okay, so let's just go back to a Dragon Breath. When you see a Dragon Breath here, you did it exactly perfect here. This was brilliant. Okay, you saw the Dragon Breath was coming, you clicked off the boss, and you moved away. On Revolution, if you don't click off the boss, he's just going to constantly be using basic abilities, and you'll lose your global cooldown for res, and timings are weird, but you clicked off the boss, you'll see here, you see the breath. As soon as you see that breath, you're like, right, move. So you moved, you go straight for your shield, and then you're about to put res on. That's perfect. If you had your thingy locked here, you would have been fine. But because you were dragging the thing, it's crap. So on the first one, you want to res it. Like, if you res that, you would have got 6k heal from that. Even through prayer, you would have got a 6k heal. So you were doing the right thing there. Brilliant. On the next one, you've got disruption shield as well, so you could do that. So you want to cycle. You'll always have time to use resonance on the second Dragon Breath if you need it. So because you're not soul split flicking, which is absolutely fine, I do not expect you to soul split flick this early on. You want to res every second smoke. It'll keep your health up. It'll make the fight pretty much foodless for you. But then you can disruption shield every second one as well. So you're going to use resonance on the first one, and then next time you use smoke, use disruption shield, and then use resonance on the next one. It'll keep your health up, and yes. So this one here, where the hands come down from Seiryu's face or whatever it is, or shadow energy burst forth from Seiryu. This one, the easiest way to deal with this is when it's coming out, stand somewhere that you don't want to be, or just stand still, just don't move. And then as soon as that arrow disappears, so you'll see here, there's an arrow, right? Because you've got the midday skybox on, you can't see the hands actually coming down, but as long as you can see the arrow, it doesn't matter. As soon as the arrow disappears, just move 2 tiles. Like, so as soon as that lands, I just move 2 tiles back. They will never hit you. If you just move 2 tiles, they won't hit you. You can move 1, but sometimes, I don't know if I just misjudge it, or if they do this weird, like, different sort of animation moving thing. Move 2, you'll be fine, and you don't need to move anything else. Always keep an eye on this stupid little thing on the left. You do a good job of dodging it, but sometimes it does hit you. What you want to do with that is literally just take 2 steps to the side. As soon as you see that hand go down, move 2 steps. These you deal with pretty well. You deal with these pretty well. They're nice and easy to deal with, and you never really miss them, to be honest. I don't think I've seen much issue with those. So for you, the main thing you need to do is just get used to dealing with that Dragon Breath, and it will make this a hell of a lot easier for you. And then if you're not dealing with like struggling to eat and all that sort of stuff, then you would get much faster kills. And also, obviously, if you hadn't signed, this crystal would have done a lot quicker. And you can definitely work towards 2-cycling. But you could definitely 2-cycle with the gear that you have now. I would probably recommend using a Reckless Aura. It will help you do a lot more damage, and that's obviously a good thing. To try and help you do a 2-cycle, what I'll do is I'll upload an example of me doing that, and then you can sort of see what exactly I would do. And I won't use magic, I'll use range for it, so you can see what it would be like with range rather than best in slot magic. And I'll just talk through that as I do it, so that it kind of makes more sense for you. But other than what we've already talked about, there's not too much else for me to say. DPS wise, you just need to stop with the cancelling of the rapid fire, of course. That's going to be very helpful. You don't need to worry about defenses while you're up here at all, because you're not going to get hit by anything. And once you get down, you can just free them. That's fine. Making sure you use your adrenaline whenever you have it. Like as soon as you hit 100% adrenaline, any basic abilities after 100% is wasted DPS, because you could have been using that adrenaline for something else, right? You could have thrown out anything else and it would have done more than that. So I mean, you're on Hydrix bolts, right? So you're gonna fly through adrenaline, but if you're using Hydrix bolts this much when you jump up here, you probably don't need the Invigorate Aura. I think that's what you're on. I would just use either like Majorat or Reckless or Dark Magic, just any DPS aura pretty much. With that being said, with the changes in your gear from just literally the gloves, and with the few things you mentioned about DPS and stuff, the last thing is going to be just the 2-cycle rotation, so you can give that a try, and as you improve and you get more used to it, then you can start implementing that. You might not be able to do it straight away, so don't stress, don't panic, it will take time, but once you get more used to this bit at the beginning, the actual phasing Seiryu and stuff, and you can make sure you get over 100% adrenaline, then it'll make it a lot easier for you. So let's talk about that now. All right, so here is my my range kill, and honestly, this was ridiculous. So just we've got the 2-cycle in it. That's all that matters. I've not used range in so long, so we'll just use that, right? Okay, so for the 2-cycle Seiryu, what you want to do is when you start the fight, don't use your adrenaline potion. The reason being is if you use your adrenaline potion when you start the fight, chances are when you jump up onto the ledge, it won't be available for you, and then you won't be able to do the damage that you need to do to get through that and then be ready for the next bit, right? So you want to save the adrenaline potion. Don't use it here. Just build up normally. You still use death swiftness, just save the adrenaline part, okay? So you'll notice that my kill times here was pretty bad because I've not used range in God knows how long, but we still got 2 cycles, so that's all that matters. So let's just fast forward this. It's just normal DPS stuff until you get to about to jump up. So we'll get to around about 2.2. 7.22, yeah. So you'll see here we're on 7,214k, and I'm pretty much just ready to jump up. So I won't be using any more thresholds because I want to save my adrenaline for going up. So I'll just use things like bleeds and normal basic stuff, and then it's phased, and I know that I've got 100% adrenaline. Now, if you're using ability queuing and you see that when you've jumped up, you've queued something here, this can screw you over. So you'll see here, what I'll do is I'll right click this little preset number, and I'll set that back to number 2, the same one. It'll get rid of the ability queuing. If this happens, do this. And then right click the crystal, and then you can use a bleed on it straight away and surge at the same time. Drop your Dominion Mines and use your Death Swiftness, Adren Pot, and then just DPS as fast as you can. I will probably speed this bit up while editing, so you can see that it's just pretty much DPSing down. Now here you pretty much just want to fire off all of your thresholds and then put your bleeds back on it as well. Bleeds are important. Don't underestimate Snipe too. That was a 9k hit from Snipe. It's really good. It's a basic ability that is super important to use. And then after you've done that, you just wait for the heals pretty much. So as soon as that crystal's dead, you'll see that I'll move up, and I will start building my adrenaline back up to 100%. It only took 2 basics, so from then on, I'll use a couple of basics every now and again, just to keep my adrenaline from dropping, and then I'll just chill. Vuln Bomb on, wait for the heals to come through. So once you start seeing the heals come through, you're going to want to start applying your bleeds, like on the second heal of the first batch, because there's 3 batches of 2 heals, right? So on the second heal of the first batch, you want to throw your bleeds on, and then on the second heal of the last batch, you want to start your onslaught with your Excalibur. That way you'll get the most damage out of your onslaught, and your Excalibur will also heal. You'll get you like another hit or 2 out of it, out of onslaught. Once you get low, drop both your mines and then just do as much damage as you can, and that will push the crystal down to around about 50k like you saw there. If you get to around about 50k, you will have no problem doing the 2 cycle once you jump back up. As you can see here, just Corruption Shot and Greater Ricochet pretty much killed all those off, so no need for chins. Make it nice and easy for yourself. You don't need that switch. Okay, so back to just doing normal DPS, drop your death swiftness. Do not use an adrenaline potion if you have it off cooldown. Don't use it because you want to save it. And then as you get close to phasing again, just stop using your thresholds. I may have done it a little bit early here, but whatever. And then just make sure you have 100% adrenaline ready to go up. We are on 2.6k at the moment. Well, that's just how I read it. It's 7.2 mil, but you don't need to look at the 7 really. And then as soon as you jump up, you want to do the exact same again. Right click that crystal so you can do it as soon as the camera moves. Click it, drop your bleed, surge forward, and use your death swiftness. At this point, you're not going to be using 2 lots of mines anyway, so just at some point, drop your mines down to make sure you get them done on the first crystal. Drop them down. You are killing both crystals now before the blobs get here, so you have to be quick. As much damage as you can, throw out all the thresholds. Make sure you've used vulnerability bomb on the crystals as well. And then as soon as that one's dead, you are finishing off the other 50k damage, which should not be too much of an issue, especially with the gear that you've got. You'll be absolutely fine. It'll just take some practice. It will take practice. So again, you want to get to this. Ideally, throw a vuln bomb again. I'm not sure that I did. I was pretty confident that I would be able to do it anyway. But throw a vuln bomb at it because it's just going to help you out a little bit. And that's pretty much it. So hopefully that did help you understand how that actually works. If you have any questions, of course, just ask in the comments, or you can DM me on Discord and I will explain that to you a bit more. But hopefully that helps. It's still about the DPS and stuff, but you have to understand when to save your adrenaline potion, when to use your Dominion mines and stuff, and that makes it a hell of a lot easier. Alright, so that brings us to the end of the video. I do hope this has helped you out, the person who I made this for, but also anyone else watching. I hope it's helped you as well. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Let me know if it has helped you out as well. And do leave a like on the video too. These videos don't do as well as other ones do. So any likes and stuff, any comments do help out quite a lot on pushing it through the algorithm and whatnot. And of course, I do still like making these either way, just because I know it's helping people out. Like, I know it helps, so I'd rather do something like this that I know is actually going to help and just get a little bit less views. That's fine. So if you guys do want to leave a like, then do so. But otherwise, if you enjoyed and you're new to the channel, subscribe as well. Anyone else who would like to do something like this, send me a clip to my Discord. If there is something that's like repeating on other stuff, then I'll likely just give you a little bit of information on Discord that way. But if it's something new, like a new boss, or there's something different happening in the boss, so different advice, then we can definitely go over and do that. Anyway, thank you so much to my channel members for your extra support. I really appreciate it. Your names will be on screen right now. If you're interested in joining the channel members, there's a join button by the sub button. Give it a click. You can see what perks and stuff you can get. But otherwise, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.